is the last thing you want is to go through a lot of pain in order to get help. So we make it easy for a customer to call, to text, to use the free mobile app that works on any platform, to be able to ask for help. And the cool part about that is when you ask for help, you're not just calling Adam's cell phone, right? You're calling a team of experts.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Across the Tailgate. I'm Adam Gittens with HTS Ag. Here with me today is Casey from AgriSync. Casey, tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, well, Adam, it's great to be here and excited that you guys came to do a visit to Des Moines. So my name's Casey Neiman. I'm the founder of AgriSync. We are based here in Des Moines, Iowa, and we build a customer service software platform for modern day agriculture. So I grew up on a farm in Kansas, but I've been a transplant to Iowa for about the last 20 plus years. And we've been very fortunate from the early days to be working with HTS Ag.
So Casey, let's dive right in and talk history just a little bit. I remember some very early conversations that you and I had, and I'm a little bit ashamed to admit at that time, I had our whole team running Windows smartphones, which you didn't have compatibility with right out of the gate. We've since made a change because they don't really exist as a thing anymore. And you've continued to add to the platform. But I recall some of those early conversations of you telling me how impactful this would be. And we started talking immediately back and forth about, hey, that's great, but what if you could do this? And what if you could do that? And you did a great job of going back to the drawing board as we would suggest features or things that we needed. You've just built them.
Yeah.
And just tell us a little about the evolution of the platform.
Well, I would say first, we've been very blessed to have good partners like HTS Ag that share with us how to get better, how to learn, how to listen. I always tell folks, customers and my spouse, that we're not perfect, but we're good listeners, and we're kind of always a work in progress. And I think what we saw in the early days with AgriSync, and again, part of this, I recall sitting on the deck in Kansas with my dad and a couple uncles, and we were talking about all of this new technology that was coming to the farm. And, you know, there was plenty of technology. What there was a shortage of was experts and people. And we were in a situation where our precision ag expert in Northeast Kansas had just decided to leave and go somewhere else. And, you know, I can remember sitting there with my dad and uncles, and they said, you know, we got all this technology, but what we're missing is, you know, ready access to kind of the trusted advisor to help us make that work. And that was really the seeds for starting AgriSync. We wanted to give farmers free and frictionless access to their trusted advisors. And what we started to realize when we talked to farmers is that, you know, when spring planting comes or harvest comes, they are all fighting over you and your time, right? They need your expertise. You know, most farmers, if you asked them, could I put Adam Gittens and the HTS Ag team in my pocket and have them sit there in the buddy seat of the cab with me every day? They'd take that in a heartbeat.
Sure.
The challenge is that, you know, you've got multiple customers to serve, and for that farmer, oftentimes they're miles away, right, from help when they need it most. And if we think about the critical nature of timing, you know, farmers don't want to sit there and wait for hours for you to come to the farm all the time. And so we started out really thinking about remote work and how we can enable experts from your team to be able to have, again, frictionless access to the farmer. And not just with phone calls, but also with video, with text, with pictures, and then to really create a platform that allowed the experts in our industry to be able to create customer relationships that really matter. And so that was sort of the starting point. You know, obviously over the last 5+ years, AgriSync has been really fortunate to grow, and we've been fortunate to grow with great partners like HTS.
Yeah, Casey, one of the things that from a service perspective, from HTS Ag's perspective, one of the things that's been a challenge is trying to figure out how to consume all the information, because everyone wants to communicate in a slightly different way, and trying to figure out with a team of people like we have, how to get that communication into one location and how to effectively manage it and not let things slip through the cracks has been a big struggle for us. And so really AgriSync is the tool that we finally found that brings all of these different types of communication into one hub. It prevents us from losing things. It prevents things from slipping through the cracks. It helps our whole team to know that people have been getting taken care of. So from our perspective, it really helps us do a better job of what we were already trying to do, and really provide that ultimate experience to the customer. So let's talk just a little bit about what the customer sees or what the customer's experience is. How much should this cost for a customer?
Yeah, so when we think about making AgriSync broadly available, it's important to note that for farmers, most of the time they're using it with their service providers. And their service providers are the ones that pay to use our service. So HTS Ag, because of their commitment to customer service, has subscribed to our software in an effort to provide a better customer service experience. And so what we found is we want to make it free and frictionless, if you will, for farmers to use this. And oftentimes they're using it inside of a service plan with their trusted advisor.
Sure.
What we also know is we want to make it easy. If you're sitting there in the cab this spring and you're having trouble with your monitor, or you're doing planter adjustments and you're having challenges, the last thing you want is to go through a lot of pain in order to get help. So we make it easy for a customer to call, to text, to use the free mobile app that works on any platform, to be able to ask for help. And the cool part about that is when you ask for help, you're not just calling Adam's cell phone, right? You're calling a team of experts. And the benefit, of course, is time to response. So now when I reach out, instead of it being getting somebody's voicemail or wondering if they're going to get back to me, when a customer reaches out, it creates a ticket. And that ticket really creates customer service accountability for the farmer. And what we hear from farmers all the time is they love the new technology, they love the innovation, but what really creates a lasting relationship is, do they have a trusted advisor? Do they have somebody that stands behind that technology and is willing to help kind of handhold them when they're adopting new things? The reality is, on game day, right, when we're going to plant here in a few weeks, we want things to work. And what we found is, we want to give experts like yourself the ability to have simple tools that allow their whole team to be responsive to them.
And Casey, we know you talked about downtime and the customer not wanting to wait. We know that has a significant expense. When it's go time and they need to be in the field planting, we need to be able to get them up and rolling as quickly as possible. And so that's really another incredible value that it brings to the customer, is instead of waiting for me to drive there, I can see what they see using a video chat through the app, and I can fix a lot of problems remotely without having to wait for the windshield time of me getting somewhere and actually trying to do that way.
Yeah, I think what we see is the kind of the omni-channel farmer, right? They might reach out to you via phone call or text, but then Adam wants to be able to see what's going on in your cab or in your planter, and we make it easy for you to kind of switch channels and to easily see exactly what the farmer sees, step them through it, and really reduce the frustration that they might have. And timing is critical. I mean, if you haven't watched some of the other podcasts that they've done, I will just tell you that there's some great information on the importance of planning timing and all these details. But the thing I appreciate about HTS Ag and other companies that use us is, number one, they value the time of their farmer customers.
Right.
It's not just their time that's valuable. They're also saying, what's downtime cost my farmer customers? And as a trusted advisor, I'm there to make sure that on game day, things work and work well. And so a big part of what we're trying to do is every phone call, every text creates a ticket. And that ticket gets taken care of. It gets done. So at the end of the day, the farmer knows somebody's going to get back to me. Somebody's going to help me out with this. And, as a manager with a great team of experts, that issues are getting solved in an appropriate fashion.
Right. So Casey, what about a farmer that downloads the app and uses it for getting support from HTS Ag, but maybe his agronomist or his machinery implement dealer also utilizes AgriSync? Do they have to download a different app for that?
No, actually, so one of the things that AgriSync does is it aggregates your experts. And if you're a farmer and you look at your phone and you say, I've got these 4 or 5 people on my speed dial, right? I've got HTS Ag for my precision ag needs, but I've also got, someone at the co-op or someone at the local equipment dealer. We bring all of those experts together in a single app. And, a lot of times there's some benefit, because when we're dealing with technology in agriculture, a lot of times we're dealing with multiple providers. And so we also make it easy for, experts to move issues around and to make sure that they get resolved. The last thing a farmer wants is to be out there and, have 2 or 3 technologies that, where maybe they're pointing fingers, if you will, at each other. Obviously, what we see is good trusted advisors are able to work across those integrated technologies and really be able to service all of those capacities.
Well, thanks, Casey, for your time today. We enjoy it.
Appreciate it. Thanks,
Yeah.
Adam. Thanks for
Have a
having
great
us.
day.